Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. If you're new to this channel, kindly subscribe and hit that notification button to always get my updates. In this short tutorial, I'll talk about the differences between a library, package, module, and then function. I may not be able to define exactly the actual definitions, but I'm going to make sure that I'm using examples to tell you clearly the distinction between library, package, module, and function. Alright, so let me import a file. As you can see that library is basement that is followed by package and then followed by module, and finally we have a function. All of us, we may have found ourselves using different functions and then to perform different tasks, but we may not know where are those functions coming from. Those functions are coming from what we call modules. A module is a file of .py ending that contains all the functions that we may need to perform different tasks. For example, if I need to plot my data on a graph, I may need a function like plot, x label, y label, title, and so on, or legend. Those are different functions that handle those particular tasks. Those functions are kept within this file, which is a Python file that ends with .py, and that's what we call a module. So now this module itself, particularly on your computer, is stored within a package. So basically a package may contain many of these modules, alright, and then finally a full package is under the library. Alright, so let me try to use some examples here, and I'll try to refer to one of the topmost libraries that we use in Python, that is the matplotlib, alright, which is a comprehensive library that is used in data visualization to produce static and animated plots. Alright, so if I say, for example, from matplotlib, alright, import pyplot. What does this mean? It means that I'm trying to, when on your computer, when you install a bigger library which is called matplotlib, on your computer there's a formed folder which is now what you refer to as our package, and within this package you have so many modules, and then from that module then you have a certain function that you want to call to perform your given task. Alright, so now on our computer I'm going to begin from the level of package. This package folder contains a file, a Python file that is labeled init. I'll show you that, init.py. That makes it that folder to be the package folder. Alright, and then that may contain many of these modules, as I'll show you. So now in Python, when we are calling modules and then packages, we can begin by calling a package. Alright, and I'm referring that from that package we are importing a certain module. Alright, and from this module we can go further to import or to call some of the functions, if not all. Alright, so if I do this and run that, that means now in my working space there's a module called pyplot. So this pyplot, which is a module now, has several functions. For example, since this is related to plotting, it has functions like plot, x label, y label, titles, legends, and so on. So when I'm going to plot my data, alright, so let's generate some data here quickly. If I say x equals a list of range of some numbers between 0 and 10 in intervals of 1, alright, and then we have our y. Let's say y is the square of all those numbers, and that is let's say I squared for I in x. Alright, so when we do this, let's see what is y. Y is a list is the square of all those numbers that are within x. which we could look at as that. All right, so our data is ready, so let's try to begin plotting. So I know that plot function is within the pyplot, and since that pyplot is already imported, I'm going to be referring to that particular module, like pyplot dot plot. All right, and I'm plotting x and y. All right, and then I know that in order to have if I run this, we'll have this. All right, if we are to go ahead, we would simply say pyplot dot show. All right, and then we could again show our plot. Let me now make it straight. In this case, matplotlib is our package, all right, which we are referring to that from that package we import a module that is pyplot, and from this module we are importing a function, all right, which function is performing a certain task. Now, where is now the function? The function, for example, is the plot. When I call this, it plots this x and y data. All right, that is now the function that is written to produce this graph. For example, if I go and say again and say pyplot dot x label, and I want to label my x-axis with a string as x-axis, and then I can go ahead as well to duplicate this for the y-axis. That is to say y label. All right, and then I simply say this is y. If I run this, this is what we have. Yeah, all right, so I have to put all this up before I show. All right, so as you can see, we have the x-axis and the y-axis labeled, and if I want to go ahead to put a title, then I'll simply say pyplot.title, and then let's say x versus y, and if I run that again, it will give me a title. And the same thing applies to the grade. If I want to put on pyplot.grade, I would simply keep it open for true. Then I have my grade on. All right, so now this gives you a feel of what is called a function in Python, and what is a module, and then what is a package. All right, and all these are enclosed within a library that is named matplotlib. So once you install the library, which is matplotlib, it creates a folder which is now a package on your computer that is in a specific location, and within that package folder we have a module, or we can still have sub packages, and then we have modules, and then finally we narrow down to the function. All right, so let me try to show you what exactly this means in other ways. All right, so let's try to open Python shell. When you go to the Python shell, and then I type in help, and then it is asking me, what do you want to know? Let me try to know something about matplotlib. Matplotlib. All right, so if I enter, then it will take its time to do whatever it wants, return back to me some squeezed lines 853. If I double click on that, then it will tell me matplotlib is an object-oriented plotting library. All right, and then now within this matplotlib we have a lot of descriptions here, but I will not go through all of them. But the most important part is right here. So the package content includes so many things here, including legend, image, hash, patches, path, pylab, quiver, pyplot. Now pyplot is within as a module and so on in the entire package once it is installed. All right, and then finally we go down to so many things here, classes, what and so on. So let's see where this file is stored on my computer. the file is stored in a certain location, which I'm going to show you. So if I go on D, I created a folder, and then we have Python. Alright, if I go to that folder, there is libs. Alright, and then from that folder there's again so many stuff right here, but then I'm only interested in site packages. And then from these site packages we can narrow down to what we want, which is matplotlib, which is right here. Alright, under the site packages. So when you go to this matplotlib, you can see that in this folder the first file is the init.py. Like we mentioned, the package usually contains that init.py function, which tells it that this is a package and enables you to import all the modules from this package. Alright, so let's try to navigate through this. As you can see, within this package we have other folders, and this is what we can refer to as the sub packages. For example, if I go to the projection, and open it, it still has some other Python files and the init.py file, which may be empty or which may contain some stuff. So this shows you that within this package we have other sub packages within it and so on, but basically here within this package environment, this is where we expect to have our module, which are the Python files, and that's what we see right here. So within these modules, then let's try to navigate through, for example, and look at what we have already seen as the pyplot. If you go down here, I think you can see the legend. If you want the legend on, this is the module you need to call, and then patches, pylab, pyplot, and so on, quiver, and so on. So now this is the pyplot I called. Alright, so this pyplot now contains several functions, as I'm going to show you. So to show you more on that, I'm going to open up that file. Alright, so it's Python, it's under libs, which is here, and if I open it up, as you can see, this is a pyplot.py file. As we said, a module is a file of Python file that consists of many functions that are written to perform specific tasks. Alright, so if we go down here to stress what I'm talking about, is that you can see a lot of stuff here, and show is one of the functions which I called up. As you can see, it tells you there is a lot of information here about the function, what it does, and so on. But finally it returns show and then the different arguments. And then we have is interactive, off, on, pause, and so on and so on. When you go through this file, it has all these functions well defined. And remember, this is how we define a function that performs a given task. So when you go through, you can actually see that now this is your module, the pyplot, that is a collection of all these functions. So in the same way, you could write your Python file, keep it in that folder or anywhere within your location, and then when it comes to using it, as long as Python it's within the path, as long as you want to use it, you can use it beginning by calling the module, and then the function, and so on. So I hope this gives you a good understanding of what is a package, what is a library, what is a package, what is a module, and finally what is a function. Alright, so you may have seen that some other people call modules in a different way. For example, they simply combine these two, matplotlib and the pyplot, all together. For example, by saying from matplotlib, then the module is included in with a .pyplot. All right. Import, for example, star. All right. So this means that I'm importing all the functions that are within the pyplot. Only that this is not usually a good way of doing it, because if you're importing also other functions from a different module, you may find that you have collisions of the functions and your program is most likely to crash. So it's better usually to say import, for example, import matplotlib.pyplot as something as plt. All right, so every time I'm referring to this, to a function that is within plt, so I'll simply say plt.plot. all right, because I know that it's like this pyplot.plot, since it is the one that is imported as plt. All right, so thanks guys for watching. Kindly hit that notification button and subscribe, and always please leave a comment on what you feel and so on.